Hey guys, welcome back to Vanellope's Corner. Today I'm going to be reading the Experiments of Twilight Sparkle. I'm going to try and read as much. Hang on. I'm gonna try and read as much as I can, but I might be only going for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Hang on. I'm trying to figure out how to split screen with. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Hang on. Okay, I'm not sure how to split screen. I'm not entirely sure if I'm doing it correctly. If I'm being able to split screen with the... Wait, what? How is this? Okay. I'm not sure if I'm properly being able to split screen with the book. Hang on. I don't know if it's working, and I don't have anyone in Okay, I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing this right, if I'm able to, like, split screen with, wait, share screen sharing tips. Okay, this is wrong. Wait. Share screen, is this how I do it? I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Wait. Can I do this? Wait. How do I, okay, I'm not sure how to do this. Share? Wait, this is, do I share audio? Chrome tab. Experiments of Twilight. Oh, okay. There we go. Is it working? Wait. What happened? Oh, there we go. It's working. Yay. Oh my gosh, it's working. Now I can make big again. Okay, good. It's working. I'm so glad. Oh my gosh. I freaking love screen sharing. Okay. How do I... Okay. I don't know how to make this bigger. Like Nathan did in your video. I mean, I don't... Full screen layout? What's this? Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm not 100% sure how to do it. I mean, without... Like the way Nathan did, like when he made it bigger, I'm not really sure how to do that, so we're just gonna do it like this, I guess. I'm not gonna be recording for as long as I was hoping. I was hoping to try and get through the entire book, but I honestly don't think that's happening anyway. It's a long one from what I know. When I listened to it on YouTube, I mean, it was pretty long, so might take a while. And We're just gonna. It was probably somewhere between 2 to 2.5 hours, I would think. So we're just gonna do as much as we can. Okay, chapter 1. Like how many stories begin, it was a nice sunny day in Ponyville. But this was no ordinary day in Ponyville. This was the day before the first anniversary of Twilight Sparkle's arrival in Ponyville. Spike was sorting books in Twilight's library, putting them in the proper order on the bookshelves. Twilight signaled Spike to come to her. Spike, I'm planning a party with just me and my 5 closest pony friends. There's going to be something there that concerns only the 6 of us. Sorry, you're not invited. However, you can send these invitations to them. By the way, this book is really creepy. There's like gore and even a little bit of sexual stuff. So if you don't want that, please leave. I mean, there's literally no one in the stream, so who am I asking to leave? But, okay, to the one viewer, Aspect Games. Hello, how's your day today? It's good! Yay! Oh, that's so cool. I made it. I figured out how to make it appear on the screen. That's awesome. My day is good. Aspect. Did he leave? Damn it. Now there's no one in the stream again. Fine. Ugh. Okay, anyway. Spike sighed. Okay. After Spike left, Twilight took a sip of her favorite hot orangey green drink and spoke softly to herself. Princess Celestia sent me here to learn about the magic of friendship, and tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of my arrival at Ponyville, so I'm going to give her something special, she finished with a cheery face. Oh, by the way, I did not write this story, so when I'm sharing it, I did not write it, so I'm just reading it, just like I did with Shirley's Garden. Sorry, I keep interrupting the story to say stuff. She finished with a cheery face. Pinkie had nothing to do that afternoon. Laying on her couch, bored, she heard the doorbell ring. Eek, a customer! I'll get it, she exclaimed. Opening the door, she said, Welcome to Sugar Cube Corner, home of Ponyville's finest pastries and... Oh, hello, Spike. Have you come to buy a cake? She saw the baby dragon handing her an invitation. No, but here, an invitation from Twilight. She took it and read it. A party? Today? As soon as possible. To learn more about friendship? I love that stuff. But I'm the one who usually throws parties. Oh well, I'll be right there. At Twilight's place, all 6 ponies were there. Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, and Twilight. Spike was upstairs in his bed taking a nap from all the hard work he did all day. The party was great. Colorful balloons and confetti were everywhere. There was delicious cake, music and dancing, and gifts. Everyone was having a blast. Rainbow Dash and Applejack had just finished a game of Pin the Scale on the Dragon when they noticed Twilight sitting all alone, watching the other ponies dance while having her usual beverage. Something was off about her. They couldn't quite tell what. It's a bug, I think. I'm still here. Oh, okay. Hello. How are you, by the way, man? How's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. Hey there, Sugar Cube. What's up? Asked AJ, approaching Twilight alongside Rainbow Dash. I had no idea you could throw such an awesome party, Twi, exclaimed Dash. Excuse me? Twilight said. Be honest, Twi, Applejack spoke. Pinkie is the party throwing pony. Anyway, how's everything? Twilight was happy to respond. Yes, Pinkie is the party throwing pony, isn't she? Parties, food, and games are fine, but the big reason I invited you all here was so... Well, let's say I planned something special for all 6 of us, to really learn more about the magic of friendship. Several hours later, the ponies were tired and worn out from all the partying they did. Yes, sir, it was another satisfying party for the ponies. Thanking Twilight, they were about to head to the door to leave, but Twilight stopped them. Wait, I've saved the best for last. Rainbow Dash let out a sigh. Can't it wait, dear? "We're exhausted," said Rarity. "Now wait, Twilight did say to Dash and I that she was planning something special at the end of the party. Something to really learn more about friendship," Applejack told Rarity. Everyone paused. Then looking at each other, they all agreed to stay. Twilight was so grateful. "Thank you, every pony. I'm happy to have such great friends." By the way, the girl who posted this story, or boy, maybe, I'm not sure, but the person who posted this story also said that they didn't. Also said that they weren't the ones who wrote the story, so I'm not entirely sure who did. If I find out who the author is, I will give them credit, but I'm not sure who the original author is exactly. Chapter 2. Twilight led all her 5 pony friends through a door. A short hall was on the other side, with 2 bookshelves alongside each other, embedded into the right wall. Each shelf had books and laboratory flasks filled with magic potions resting in them, and a lantern hanging above them. The lanterns gave off a dim light, but it was still enough to see their way through. Passing through the short hall, they made a left turn and descended down some stairs. Fluttershy, however, was hesitant, but Pinkie turned to her and gave her a reassuring smile. After making a right turn, then a left and another right, they finally arrived at the bottom of the long stairs and into what looked like a laboratory in a darkened cave. The only light in the room was coming from some lanterns embedded in the walls, and from the electricity running through some metal rods sticking out of some machinery against the cave walls. Ugh. Sorry, guys, I have some phlegm in my throat. Various tree branches were sticking out of the walls and coming out from the ceiling, extending to the ground. Some were wrapped around the machinery. At the center of the room was what appeared to be a control panel, 5 metallic tables forming a semicircle around the control device. They were tilted towards and facing the control panel, each about 5 meters from the control panel. The purple unicorn brought the laboratory flask, filled with her favorite drink, to her mouth and took a sip. "Beautiful, isn't it? What is everyone looking at?" "Twilight, did you just drink a potion out of that glass container? You stole chemicals?" one of the other ponies questioned. Okay, it doesn't say which pony it is, so I don't know which voice to use. It should say which pony it is, I don't know why not. But she answered, "It's one of my most favorite drinks. You've seen me drink this before." "Out of that?" Rarity asked. "Don't worry, it's clean. I don't know why, but I sometimes just like drinking out of a lab flask." "Weird, I know," replied Twilight. No one thought much of it. Rarity pointed out 3 skeletal models of ponies up against one of the cavern walls, one of each kind of pony, supported by poles. "Those are just plain creepy," said Rarity. Twilight was glad someone took notice of them. "Oh, you like them?" No, she literally just said they were creepy. "These pony skeleton models weren't too difficult to make. I've even given them nicknames. The first one is a model of a male earth pony. Doc Brownmane is his name. He's a hot one." Okay, Doc Hooves, I think it is. "The second one is a female Pegasus pony I've named Dopestick. Dopey. And the last, the Trickster, is a female unicorn." Trixie. That's Trixie. Everyone just stared at Twilight awkwardly. Pinkie spoke out. "Say, Twilight, isn't this the same room when you tried to collect data from my Pinkie senses in the Feeling Pinkie Keen episode?" Applejack gave Pinkie a confused look. "Episode? What the hell are you talking about, Pink?" "Yes, it is, Pinkie," Twilight said, answering Pinkie's question. Fluttershy was looking around the cave. What are we going to do in this unsettling place, Twilight?" "Science experiments," Twilight responded. "Science experiments," Dash complained. "Give me a break. Science isn't my thing." "Rainbow Dash," scolded AJ. We said we'd stay to learn more about friendship with Twilight. And if science experiments are how we're going to learn, then by golly, we'll participate. Pinkie nodded in agreement. Yeah, Dashy, don't be a science party pooper scooper. Dash gave in. Fine. Sigh. Let's get this done with. Twilight gave Dash a cheery look. Thank you, Dash. Trust me, you'll find this interesting. I'll be back. I'll notify people. Thank you. That's so awesome. Alright. Alright, every pony, get on the tilted tables, Twilight told them. Rainbow Dash began to get nervous and was hitting. Twy? Something wrong, Dash? Oh, nothing. Except this is reminding me of a dream. No, a nightmare I had 2 weeks ago. Rainbow was looking at Pinkie Pie uncomfortably, while Pinkie just smiled back obliviously. Okay, I know what she's talking about. Oh, cupcakes. Twilight tried reverse psychology on Dash. Don't worry, I'm sure this will be nothing like your dream, but I understand if you're scared. Dash was indignant. What? I am not scared. I'll prove it. Just like that, Dash lay on the table. See? I knew you could do it, Twilight said as she directed everyone else where to lie. Everyone laid on their assigned tables except for Fluttershy. Twilight questioned Fluttershy. What are you waiting for, Shy? Fluttershy had another look on her face. Well, it's just, it looks, well, restricting and scary. And, well, yeah, I'd rather not. You don't have to be afraid. I'm your friend. You trust me, right? Yeah, well, I'd still rather not, Shy said timidly. Twilight had a look of disapproval. I see. Twilight's horns started to glow. She used magic to push Fluttershy onto the metal board. Then she quickly went over to the control panel and pushed a button, cuffing all 5 ponies' 4 hooves, assuring that they could not escape from the platforms. Fluttershy, being as sensitive as she was, didn't take the sudden impact into the metallic platform well. She started crying. Rarity grew angry. Twilight! That was simply rude and unnecessary. And why are we cuffed to these boards? It's so tight. I can't move. Rainbow Dash began to find the situation unnerving again. Okay, Twilight, this is really getting to be like my dream. A disappointed Twilight said, I'm hurt. Don't you all trust me? I promise every pony will benefit and learn well from this experience. So what do you say? Please? Rarity spoke. Well, all right. Sorry, dear. Fluttershy's eyes cleared up. Me too, I guess. Rainbow Dash said, Okay, I trust you, Twilight. Thank you, everyone. I knew I could rely on you, Twilight said with a cheery tone. Twilight was ready to explain. Now, what these experiments will do is to help us better understand who we are as ponies. To do this, we shall study and carefully analyze our talents. That is, the meaning of our cutie marks. We also will look into the element of harmony each of us represent. Dash felt a little better. Oh, okay, that's not so bad. That actually sounds pretty fun. Though I still don't know why we need to be cuffed to these planks, but I trust you. Twilight was pleased. Great, let's start with Pinkie Pie. Ooh, Pinkie said with an excited voice. Twilight continued. As we all know, Pinkie is the pink party-throwing pony of Ponyville. She does it to bring smiles and joy to the ponies who attend the parties. That is signified by her 3-balloon cutie mark. She's energetic and has a wild, fun-loving personality. No wonder she is the carrier of the element of laughter. Dash agreed. That's Pinkie Pie. Hee. Twilight went on. In hopes of better understanding her joyous mentality, I shall examine her mind intimately. Very intimately. Applejack was slightly puzzled by that statement. Like, how? To everyone's surprise, Twilight gave the happy pink horse a long, passionate kiss on her tender cheek. I love your body. I'll be back, Twilight said as she left the room. Pinkie waited in curiosity and anticipation. Okay, this is where it gets, like, really gory, so you should probably leave now if you don't want to hear about that. There's, like, really gory stuff about to happen, so if you don't want to hear about it, then leave. I'm talking to no one. Anyway, when she returned, they noticed that she was wearing a clean white apron, and she was carrying a metal box with her. "Is that a white apron worn by surgeons?" asked Rarity. Rainbow felt uneasy again. Pinkie Pie corrected Rarity. "Don't be a silly big filly. That's a baker's apron. She wants to bake a cake like I would, to better understand my mind." The ponies were almost convinced at what Pinkie Pie had said, until they saw Twilight put on the surgical mask, open the box, reach inside, and take out what looked like a surgical knife. Everyone's eyes grew wide with concern, with the exception of Pinkie Pie. Pinkie was so excited. "I knew it! That's the knife to cut the cake, right?" "Something like that," Twilight chuckled. Twilight held the scalpel close to Pinkie's face. "Here's for science." "Heh, heh. Careful with that knife," Pinkie said nervously. Dash's heart beat significantly faster at the sight of a knife that close to her friend. "Twilight, I don't want to do this. Please let me go," yelled Dash. Twilight was vexed. "Why not, you silly nightmare?" Dash replied. "This is getting more and more like that nightmare. What exactly do you plan on doing with that knife anyway?" Applejack joined in. "You're worrying us, Twilight sighed in frustration. "It's for science. We just went over this. I thought you were okay with this." Pinkie watched as it hovered down her chest and to her belly. "Shouldn't you be baking that cake now?" The knife caressed the skin of Pinkie's belly. Suddenly, Twilight pushed harder on the knife, and the extremely sharp tool cut through the skin and muscle of the pink pony's belly. "Ouch!" Pinkie yelled. Then Twilight quickly moved the blade straight down the belly, making a deep horizontal gash through the skin and muscle, causing Pinkie to scream in pain. It was not long before red liquid was seeping out of the wound. There was a sudden adrenaline rush in everyone from seeing what had just happened. "Twilight!" both Rarity and AJ hollered. Rainbow Dash was now filled with panic. "Get me out of here!" Dash screamed, while jerking frantically, trying to break free from the metal cuffs, but to no avail. "Don't worry, Dash. I will," Rarity said, with a look of anger and determination towards Twilight. Rarity's horn glowed as she used her magic to take hold of the knife, right before Twilight was going to make another incision into Pinkie. Twilight had an annoyed look on her face, and the irises in her eyes turned red. She tried to regain control of the scalpel with her magic. "Rarity, stop it!" They were both fighting for the knife, pulling on it like a game of tug-and-war. The purple pony had had enough. She used her magic to flip a switch on the control board at the center of the room. This sent a powerful electric shock throughout Rarity's body. Her muscles instantly contracted. She shook and jerked violently, screaming out in agony from burning heat. This left her twitching and disoriented, allowing Twilight to take control of the surgical tool once again. All the pony test subjects had never been so scared in their lives. Turning off the power and returning to a crying Pinkie, Twilight used her blade to make 2 more deep gashes on the chest of her pink friend. Both cuts were slanting down, their bottom ends joining together, along with the top end of the first cut on Pinkie's belly. There was now a capital Y-shaped incision on Pinkie's entire underside. The Y turned red. The blood was starting to drip down, beginning to flow down Pinkie's chest and tummy, down to her legs and dripping onto the floor. Moaning and weeping, she innocently asked, "Twilight, why?" "I get it. A Y incision? That's really funny, Pink. Cliché, but still funny," snickered the surgeon. Rarity recovered enough composure to once more take control of the knife. Twilight was getting angry. She once again turned the same electricity-inducing switch on. "Rarity, quit it. You're being immature." Rarity was in as intense pain as before. The electricity was roasting her body tissue to the point where it was smoking, but she fought against the horrible burn, more determined than ever to stop Twilight. Everyone else was watching in high hopes. The bookworm unicorn's anger grew. She turned off the electric current and had a quick sip from her glassware in frustration. The next thing Rarity knew, Twilight seemed to easily yank the sharp cutting instrument with her raging magic. That is it! Twilight brought out a bone-cutting hacksaw from the silver case. Rarity tried to move the saw away from her with her glowing horn, but Twilight's magic was now too overpowering, as if getting her mad was making her magic stronger. Coming to Rarity with the hacksaw, she positioned the teeth blade at the base of the white unicorn's horn and started sawing. Rarity's magic was getting weaker with each thrust of the saw through her horn. She winced as the blade cut through some skin and around the base of the horn. A small amount of blood flew down her face. After about 30 seconds, Rarity saw her blood-stained horn drop to the ground. Everyone's heart sank as they watched what seemed to be their last hope of escape fall to the ground and die. Twilight let out a warning. Any pony else who resists will be dealt with by my magic. Now, if that's all... Alright, guys, give me a second. I'm talking to no one again. Alright, I gotta take my pills. It's a few minutes to 9, and I'm gonna take the opportunity that we finish this part to take my meds right now. So just give me a few minutes, and then I'll get right back to it. Just give me a second while I... The next part might be the last part for tonight, and I'll come back tomorrow and read the rest of it. Don't worry, I'm definitely gonna come back. I'm definitely gonna finish what I started with this book. So if I don't finish it tonight, which I highly doubt that I will, then I'm gonna come back and finish it over the next day or two. So don't worry. I would stream for longer, but me and my mom really want to hang out. We've been hanging out almost every night, pretty much since this pandemic started, and ever since March break, because the schools closed down right after that while that was happening. And then the schools weren't opening for another couple weeks, so me and my mom were hanging out every single night, so. She's basically the only company I have, so we've been doing a lot of fun stuff. We've been playing board games, and we've been playing Hangman and Yahtzee and other stuff, and watching TV together pretty much every night. Alright, good. I took my pills. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. Not wait. I think I can wait until after I'm done reading the next chapter. But I think this chapter that I'm about to read is going to be the last chapter. So if you missed the live stream, I'm going to upload it later. I always post my live streams immediately after I'm done with them. So if you guys missed a live stream, you can always check it out after. But this is going to be the last part, so Aspect Games might not return with people in time. And this part has 123 comments. Holy shit, this is a really popular series, apparently. Okay. Chapter 3. Miss Sparkle continued with the party pony. By now, Pinkie had lost a significant amount of nutrients carrying bodily fluid, as was evident by the red puddle on the floor below her. Twilight used her hoof to lift one of the flaps of Pinkie's flesh and meat, made by a huge Y-shaped wound on her underside. She stretched, compressed, and wiggled the mass of meat and skin as if she were studying it. Pinkie let out a whine of great discomfort with each burning stretch and twist. Fluttershy shouted, "Leave Pinkie alone! You're hurting her badly. Just listen to her cries of pain. Doesn't that say anything to you?" "Oh, she's just being Pinkie Pie," was Twilight's response. Fluttershy continued, Why did you cut Pinkie's belly open? She's your friend. I told you, this is for science, Twilight answered. She's my friend. That's why we will learn together. I opened Pink because if I'm going to remove her brain to study it, I may as well remove the rest of her organs first. The 5 ponies were utterly shocked at what they had just heard. Twilight then wore a gleeful face. Once we're done learning about Pinkie Pie, then we shall move on to AJ, Dash, Shy, and then Rarity. Actually, I kind of don't want to stop. Anyway, when we are finished, more will be known about the magic of friendship than ever before. All of them were breathing heavily and fast. Their hearts were pounding. Panic was in the air. I'll be back in a sec, said Twilight. They all shouted and yelled pleas for mercy just as Twilight left the room. Upon returning, she dragged a huge multi-layered cart with an array of glass containers filled with a clear liquid. The 5 ponies were petrified at the freaky and unnerving sight before them. Some joys had active pony organs already inside of them. The hearts were still beating, the lungs were still expanding and compressing, stomachs were still contracting their muscles, as if the liquid in the containers was some sort of bioelectricity-inducing substance. Maybe it is. The glass bottles had labels on them. They labeled the type of organs that they belonged to. They labeled the type of organs that were in them and ponies they belonged to. The horrified mayor read the labels, some empty ones, but still with liquid. Red Pinkie Pie. Some containing organs. Red Blue October. Pokey Pierce. I don't know who those characters are. And Apple Plume. Applejack's world was further crashing down. You killed her! You killed my kid's sister! She was just a little helpless filly! Tears were flowing down her cheeks. The killer explained, Well, yeah, I needed practice before I got to Pinkie. Much of science is trial and error. AJ's throat moistened and she found it hard to swallow. All sorts of intense emotions ran through her. Shock, fear, despair, rage. You know, Twilight went on, it's interesting, this taboo of society. Ponies are always more sensitive about young foals being hurt and killed. Why do you think that is? Twilight looked at everyone. And finally, we can start the lesson. Twilight grabbed a huge metal silver nail and a hammer from the open metal case. Pinkie didn't want to know what the unicorn was going to use them for. Twilight, no! No! Please, no! After resting the nail's tip on the inside of one of the flaps of meat, Twilight leaned over and kissed Pinkie on the forehead. Then she swung the hammer and it hit its target. The nail pinned down one of Pinkie Pie's flaps of skin to the table. The nail rested in a hole pre-embedded in the table. Ah! Pinkie felt a high concentration of activated pain receptors. Twi took 2 more out and hammered them to pin down that flap more securely. Pinkie let out a high-pitched shriek with each sudden blood-squirting stab into the meat and flesh. Taking 3 more nails, she did the same to the flap on the pink pony's other side. This left Pinkie's ribcage and bottom organs exposed. Rarity felt nauseous. Twilight wasn't finished. She took a small circular saw out of the box. It was a bone cutter. She turned it on and pushed the spinning saw into the bottom of Pinkie's blood-covered sternum. The loud cutting noise could be heard throughout the dungeon. Sawing sprayed up through the hard chest bone. Countless red drops sprayed onto Pinkie's tear-soaked face and onto Twilight's white surgeon's apron mask. The crying, begging, and pleading for the purple unicorn to stop from the 4 other ponies were relentless. Applejack pleaded, Anything! Anything at all! Name it! We'll do it! Please, just stop this! Dash implored, No! No! No more! No! Rarity shouted, We love you, Pinkie! We'll get you out of this! We swear! Fluttershy was, of course, crying the hardest. Pinkie Pie is your friend. How could you do this to poor Pinkie? Please, put her back together. But they didn't seem to face Twilight at all, except for her horn, which looked as though it had sharpened. With Pinkie's sternum split, the surgeon unicorn inserted a rib spreader into the crevice and turned the lever enough to push the 2 half-sternums apart, leaving Pinkie's beating heart and expanding and compressing lungs in plain sight. Pinkie was too frightened to look down. Twilight locked the lever in place. Next, she brought out what looked like a huge bastion bulb and explained this and explained, "See this? It contains alcohol. I'm going to pour it all over your exposed internal organs to prevent infection. You don't expect me to experiment on infected organs, do you? This is going to sting. A lot. Brace yourself." "No, Twilight, no." Pinkie spoke weakly from blood loss, her face wet with blood and tears. As if Twilight didn't even hear her, she squirted the infernal liquid all over poor Pinkie Pie's bare insides. Sting! The pain was so intense, it was like nothing she had ever suffered before. Deafening, blood-curdling screams of sheer agony echoed off the cave walls. "This is not right!" cried the suffering mayor. Twilight repeatedly rubbed her cheek against her sobbing victims and gave some kisses in between. "Shh, shh, shh, shh. It's okay. It's going to be all right." The four other captives were in such trauma, they couldn't stand seeing their best friend in so much pain. Pinkie looked so weak and helpless. It was too much for them to handle. Fluttershy threw up and blacked out. Twilight removed her mask. "Now, this is when we learn more about Pinkie's mentality." She floated an ink feather and scolded herself. Twi put her face right up to Pinkie's. "Hey, Pinkie Pie." Pinkie weakly glanced at her captor. Miss Sparkle's eyes went wide as she spoke with a big, happy smile. "Guess what? I killed Apple Bloom. I killed her, and I'm going to kill you too. And it makes me happy. Your cutie mark does not lie. Your parties do give pony smiles. And what a party this is." Okay, you threw this party, not her. "Tell me, how does this all make you feel, emotionally? Does this change your view on this world we live in?" The unicorn waited for a response from the miserable pink pony. After a few moments, the crying, pitiful pony started to sing. G- 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 Giggle at the ghosty, guffaw at the grossly, crack up at the creepy, whoop it up with the weepy, chortle at the kooky, startle at the spooky. When she finished, Twilight spoke with intrigue. "Interesting. You truly are the carrier of that element of laughter. But laughing can only help you so far in dire situations like this, and you need to learn that." Twilight's irises fluctuated between dark red and bright red as she picked up the bone cutter. She started sawing around one of Pinkie's hind legs just above the knee. Pinkie screamed from the painful slicing of her muscle. She felt like she could do nothing to stop this, not even laughing. With more blood, the spinning blade cut the bone thin enough to snap, which is exactly what Twilight did, and the pink leg fell to the giant tree trunk floor, making another mess of blood. Twilight Sparkle squirted more stinging alcohol onto the newly made injury and the severed leg. Putting the red dripping limb onto a tray on the cart, she asked, "Do you still think giggling at the ghosties will save you now, Pink?" Pinkie gave up hope. No. Twilight addressed everyone, making sure they were all listening. "That's it. We all learned something about our friend Pinkie Pie, and that is that, under such horrific circumstances like this, she concludes that laughter will not always make the monsters disappear. But we are not done. There is more to be learned about Pinkie." When she was finished, she put back on her surgical mask, readied the glass containers, and sterilized her hooves. The ponies made one last attempt to reason with the heartless horse. Applejack tried first. "Twi, you don't have to do this. It's not too late. Just stick Pink back together." Dash spoke. "Yes, Twi, she's your friend. We know you really don't want to do this." Rarity was next. "We don't know what has gotten into you, but please, let us help you. We can help. Love you, dear." Violet was grateful for their offer. "Thank you all. You are all my dear friends." There was a spark of hope in them. Twilight's eyes turned an even brighter red than before. "But there is nothing wrong with me." Everyone's heart sank. Then came the begging and sobbing again. Twilight did not seem to care as she opened the bottle and grabbed the party pony's stomach. Pinkie Pie felt sick to the stomach, that is, until Twilight gave it a good yank out of her, carrying with it part of the esophagus. "Ugh!" reacted Pinkie. Twilight immediately put the digestive organ into the preservative fluid-filled jar and closed the lid. Twilight made a discovery. "Well, you had a big stomach, which is to be expected since you eat a lot of goods." Twilight went for the liver next. This organ is rich with blood. Twilight proceeded with the pancreas, gallbladder, spleen, and small intestine, giving brief facts about them as she did. The mirrors could not believe nor understand what they were witnessing. Twilight Sparkle, their very close and dear friend, was, seemingly out of nowhere, removing the internal organs of an innocent fellow pony. Rarity's nausea was worsening till it was too much. Her stomach erupted, and she vomited several times in a row, making a big, strong odor, mess of bile all over her body and the floor. At this point, they felt that all hope was lost for their pink friend. They felt so sad. They loved Pinkie so much. Interestingly enough, Pinkie is so healthy, and considering how many sweets she consumes, yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'm guessing it's how she hops around a lot using those muscles, Twilight said, briefly studying Pinkie's long intestine before folding it into a glass jar. Twilight dipped the bloody blade into a bowl of alcohol to clean it. After giving Pinkie's vulva a few good rubs, she used the scalpel to pierce the skin of the lying pony's groin. Pinkie could feel the very sharp tool easily dig deeper into her meat. The demented surgeon started carving out Pinkie's sensitive genitals, very slowly and carefully, as not to damage any internal parts of the pink pony sex organ. Pinkie's awareness faded. Once finished, she lifted the blood-dripping severed private part with caution. The vulva, vagina, cervix, uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries were all still connected. Reproduction, very important. Twilight poured alcohol onto Pinkie's disembodied malehood and placed the entire reproduction system into a vacant container and sealed it tight. She then spilled the alcohol onto Pinkie's genitalless crotch. Wake up, Pink! The mutilated horse was very weak, but the sting still managed to wake her up. You don't want to miss your last lesson in life, said Twilight as she prepared for the final incision. I'll remove your lungs and heart after, so you can witness the lecture on your brain before I take it out. Sad, confused, crying, and in tremendous discomfort, Pinkie lost the will to hope. She was just waiting for it to end. A sharp, painful pinching sensation was felt as the scalpel cut across the small pink horse's forehead and around the cranium. The wincing pony's forehead was oozing out red fluid. Twilight peeled off the flesh off the top of her head, taking a part of Pinkie Pie's poofy pink mane with it, causing her to bleed. Next, using the bone cutter, Twilight sawed through the skull bone along the incisions of the skin, making a complete circle around the top of her head. She lifted the head bone piece off, exposing Pinkie's tender brain. Pinkie braced herself as Twilight squirted more alcohol onto the brain. The sensation of that was a heavy, pounding headache all over the surface of her thinking organ, and Twilight caressing it with her hoof wasn't helping. Then the purple unicorn applied her magic to levitate a kind of brainwave analyzing device to her. She put it up to Pink's head. Isn't this interesting? The left temporal lobe is just as active as the right. I expected the left side to be far less active. Would you ever forgive me for taking you to be a moron, Pinkie? He. Pinkie was too weak and in too much agony to be mad, or even care about the cold words escaping from her tormentor's mouth. And thus concludes our learning of Pinkie. The terrified mirrors knew what was coming. They could not bear to watch, yet they couldn't look away. Twilight Sparkle took hold of one of the lungs. Streams of tears profusely flowed down from Dash's eyes. This isn't the Twilight Sparkle we knew. Twilight hesitated for a moment, but then pulled on the lung until it disconnected from Pinkie. Everyone cried even harder. Pinkie, already struggling to breathe, found it much harder to take in oxygen with only one lung. No's and pleases reverberated throughout the basement laboratory. Twilight placed both of her hooves on the only lung Pinkie had left. Twilight was hesitant again. She started sweating and breathing heavily, using her magic to levitate her fizzing liquid-filled laboratory flask up to her mouth. She took a chug of it, and then forced out the last means Pinkie had to breathe. Within about 4 minutes, Pinkie passed out from lack of oxygen. They knew it. Her friends knew that in a few moments, the inevitable would happen to the blood-covered pony. After a short passing of time, they saw the beating of Pinkie Pie's visible heart stop. Her eyes slowly closed. The brain activity ceased. They so desperately didn't want to face the ugly fact, but they had no choice. Their friend Pinkie Pie was dead. Alright, even though I would love to continue this for you know, the rest of the book. I really can't. You know what? So, okay. Yeah, I would love to continue this, but I cannot continue this indefinitely. So, it's been 45 minutes. I think it's safe to say that I need to sign off. I will be back from part 2, probably not later today. It's going to be too late. It's already like 9:15, pretty much. So I think I'm going to have to come back tomorrow. Aspect Games left at 8:39 to notify people and has not returned. So whoever missed this is just gonna have to watch it after. Like I said, I always post these live streams after, so that if you guys miss them, you can watch them after. And even though I would love to keep reading, I can't. I can't if I want to hang out with my mom, and I really want to hang out with my mom. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for now. I love each and every single one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourselves. Vanellope signing out. Hang on, I have to